Hey, how's it going? It's Keith Townsend from the CTOadvisor.com, and you're watching today's CTO Dose. I got this question on Twitter that someone asked me if I talked about failing fast in enterprise IT prior to this, and I don't think I recall talking about failing fast in enterprise IT. Failing fast is something that we've heard in cloud native for some years now. This idea that there's a business idea, there's fast movement from the business idea to implementation from a technology perspective, getting fast feedback from your customer base to see if that idea works. If it doesn't work, then you chuck it out the window and start with something else or iterate on that idea. So this agile mode of developing business ideas, executing, and moving forward. Challenge with IT and why we talk about digital transformation so much is that I talked to the VP, Paul Strong, I believe his name is, VP of Strategy for SAP. He's really taxed with getting HANA into the hands of SAP customers. This idea that you can go to AWS, provision SAP within hours as opposed to months. And this is, I think, the fundamental challenge when we talk about enterprise IT, is that enterprise IT is very good at keeping the ship steady, making sure that there's audit traceability, that there's resiliency, there's recoverability, all these abilities in making sure the business stays stable. But when it comes to moving fast, enterprise IT isn't enabled to do such. So what enables the ability to fail fast in enterprise IT? It takes the agile business. So from the creation of the idea to the funding of that idea and then to the execution of that idea from a high level. Creation of ideas, relatively easy. This funding of ideas is where we go into more disciplined project and portfolio management and funding ideas. Small organizations, we can be agile. I run the CTO Advisor. I can have an idea, whiteboard it. Hey, I want to do a CTO dose remote with Intel. Hey, that idea is easy to execute. If Intel says, no, we'd rather do that at AWS reInvent, it's easy for me to pivot and do something else. Small organization, really simple to do. That scales up to a dozen or so people from an IT perspective. But once you get bigger than that, AWS has this concept of PISA groups. You can't, AWS is a great example of an enterprise IT company that fails fast. You can't work an idea in the size of a group, the size of that it takes to feed a large PISA. Then the group is too big and there's too much baggage associated with the idea and working the idea. That's where a lot of enterprises fail, is that our groups are too big in the effort to manage spend, to manage standards, to make sure that we move in a concurrent and flow-like manner. We put all of these policies and bureaucracy around enterprise IT, and it makes it pretty hard to steer. On the flip side, it's very hard to manage small teams across a large organization. Cisco does this when it comes to spin outs and spin ins. They'll spin out a company, let that company innovate, create something that disrupts their current business model, pull that company back in and integrate it back into the product line. Hence, they've innovated without the entanglements of innovation, and they've getting the benefits. This is the innovator's dilemma approach to innovation in a really large organization. IT and the supporting services around IT more or less have to adopt this agility that AWS is showing from their governance model, what Cisco shows from their product creation model, and what basically the innovator's dilemma has said for years large enterprises have to do. They have to break the ideas into smaller teams, give those teams the budgetary power to make decisions at that team. So that's going to look a little different It's not going to be just IT. There has to be business. There has to be this constant feedback where you create an idea, a business idea. IT implements that idea with a higher level framework of what you have available from your toolbox. Get immediate feedback from your customers, whether that's external or internal customers. Learn if what you're doing works. If it works, keep going. If it doesn't work, fail fast, find a new idea, and iterate until you find a solution that works. So I hope that answers your question around what does the CTO advisor view, or how does the CTO advisor view failing fast in enterprise IT. Most of us don't do it well because it's very difficult, but it's possible just as long as we break the bigger chunk of enterprise IT, the project itself, the business problem, into smaller chunks, pizza teams, and we can work towards those solutions. Talk to you next CTO Dose. You can follow me on the web, The CTO Advisor, on Twitter at CTO Advisor. And again, subscribe to the podcast, rate us in iTunes, The CTO Advisor Podcast. Talk to you soon.